Hi everyone, this is meowmurai, and let's continue our game of Spirit Hunter Deathmark 2 running on PlayStation 5. Nobody knows what may come, and that's especially true when we're walking around the forest at night. We can't know what lies ahead, so don't forget to restore your spirit. Okay, and then I changed it to Mashita. And we need to go to the new building. We need to head to the forest. Do we even know how to get to the forest? Go outside and continue the investigation in other places. Hooligan gone to Foxed Forest. Eat Crimson Devil to see invisible Kokori. Again? What's wrong, Yashiki? No, it's nothing. This has got to be the work of that female doll again. She wanted to tell me something. Hooligan has gone to the Fox Forest. Eat Crimson Devil to see the invisible Kokori. If the previous pattern holds, this information must be something to do with the spirit. I have no idea what that doll's goal is, but it doesn't hurt to keep that information in hand, or in mind. Clock tower front. I see the entrance to the clock tower. We don't need to go there yet. I guess we're going to the shrine front gate. Oh yeah, this looks like a forest thing. We arrive at the north end of the school grounds. The shrine gate we see before us must be the entrance to the Fox Forest. A traffic cone and barrier are blocking the way. I imagine they are there to prevent people from going in. Hold on a minute. Okay. However, this might have the opposite effect. They're quite attention-grabbing, and it's not difficult to bypass the barrier. An old shrine gate. It looks regal despite the dull color. Beyond the gate is a dense, gloomy forest. This place is really suspicious. I feel like a demon or a snake is about to lurch out. The fox forest is just up ahead. From the shrine gate, an overgrown path continues deeper into the forest. This should be the path Abe mentioned. The path that connects the Kokiri Shrine's former location at the school with the shrine in the forest. Mr. Kokiri uses this path to go back and forth between the two shrines. Are these tiny-ass cones actually intended to close the road? What a joke. The path ahead is unknown territory. Stay sharp, Mashita. Yeah, you better not let your guard down either. We delve deeper into the pitch-black forest. As we press forward, the light from the flashlight illuminates more and more trees crowding in and around us. But I'm so riled up that the shadow forms look like a horde of monsters to me. Who knows, maybe a real monster is poised to strike just beyond the imagined monsters I'm seeing. Once my mind starts down that train of thought, my skin starts to crawl. I'm getting into my own head and making myself paranoid. Before long, we arrive at an old path leading to the shrine. Although it's only a few minutes from the gate, I feel like we've entered another world. Finding a spirit in the forest at night, huh? Reminds me of the mess we were in 4 months ago. Yeah, we were with Sho and Christy back then. Christy Aramura is one of the mark bearers and a former newscaster. If the news that arrived at Kujou Mansion a few days ago is true, she's currently overseas covering a story. Speaking of Nagashima, didn't he ignore your warning and try getting himself involved in this case? I'd shoot his ass out. He should stay out of your hair for a while. Ah, okay. And here I thought Sho withdrew from the case on his own accord. I don't know what exactly Mashita told him, and I don't want to ask. Best to just leave that stone unturned. Don't know how long that brat will be able to endure it. It's time for the adults to put an end to this thing. Is that Kakuta? Hey, Kakuta. Why are you here? This is the end. What end? I didn't do him a favor. I shouldn't have gotten involved. Fox... He's mumbling something to himself. His voice is hoarse, as if his words are caught in the back of his throat. What the hell happened, Kakuta? Mr. Yashiki. I don't want to die. Ah! Huh? His face bulges from within, red lines whipping across his skin as it's pulled apart. His expression contorts in agony as he screams. Mushrooms sprout from within his wounds, rooted somewhere inside his head. More and more mushrooms split his skin to pieces. What is happening to Kakuta's body? It hurts! It hurts! It hurts! Ah! Clutching his face, Kakuta runs away while screaming. His figure disappears into the woods. Could that be Mr. Kokuri's curse? I'm immediately reminded of the rumors of a delinquent boy whose ear turned into mushrooms. What's happening to Kakuta is even more horrific than the rumors. For fuck's sake, how'd that brat get cursed? I think we know the answer to that. He's cursed because he's a hooligan. What the fuck did he do? I don't know, but Kakuta seems to have an idea why he got cursed. If we do whatever he did, we'll be cursed too. We don't know what action provokes Mr. Kokuri's ire, which means we need to be extremely careful in this forest. cluster of mushrooms is growing on a tree trunk. I hear something. It sounds like a human groaning. Is there something in the darkness? I wave my flashlight towards the direction of the groan. The nearby trees are illuminated by the light, but it's still too dark to see anything else. I stare into the darkness, trying to get a better look. What was that? Those eyes. Those eyes are looking at us. Is this spiritual phenomenon tied to Kokiri, or did other spirits in this forest do it? I don't really know. At that moment, I feel something strange at the bottom of my foot. It feels like I'm stepping on something small and hard. I raise my foot and pick up the item. It's an eerie tooth. Lost soul. There's an old stone lantern. There's an animal carved atop the lantern. It looks like a mouse to me. Do these animals mean anything? I'm getting curious now. I better look it up. The stone is quite weathered, so these things are quite old. Its surface is mostly covered in moss and mushrooms. I don't really have anything. There's an old stone lantern. This animal's carved. The animal carved atop this lantern looks like a cow to me. Let's see. This one is a tiger. This one is a rabbit. Nothing.
Yoshi.
This one looks like a dragon.
Yoshi.
This one looks like a snake. Behind the stones, there seems to be an animal. There seems to be animal tracks leading further into the woods, diverging from the path. Okay, let's go down. Pushing my way through the dense foliage, we walk further into the woods. I wonder how far this trail goes. What if we can't find our way back home? There's an open area in front of us. Something's there. It's a different path. I find a different path. I guess this is the back road? There's a large rock at the end of the path. What on earth is that supposed to be? huge stone is blocking the path. A thick shrine rope is wrapped around the stone. It looks like a serpent. I wonder what that means. Should I investigate it more closely? The rope looks like it's protecting this huge rock. There must be something behind it. Should I try touching the rope? I take a step closer and touch the rope. Suddenly, a sharp chill runs down my spine. Is that supposed to be a warning or something? I better stop then. We're gonna keep touching it. I grab the rope and try shaking it hard. Several chills besiege my entire body once again. I knew it. This isn't just an ordinary stone. I better stop. Something rolls down from the gap between the rope and the stone. Is it because I shook it? I pick it up. It's an eerie tooth. Let's see, this one is a horse.
Yoshi.
This one's a sheep.
Kujou.
This one's a monkey. This one's a rooster. The stone is quite weathered, so these things are quite old. Its surface is mostly covered in moss and mushrooms. Behind the stones, there seems to be an animal tracks leading further into the woods, diverging from the path. We follow the animal tracks, surrounded by overgrown flora once again. I wonder what's waiting for me in this deep, dark forest. That. There's an open area in front of us. Something's there. We arrive at a small meadow. There are some random things scattered on the ground here. Everything is old and unusable. You may as well call it junk. Perhaps this place used to be a garbage dump.
Kujou.
There's an old signboard at the top of a broken trailer. It's a wooden signboard, the kind of thing used to serve as a notice board in olden times. These days, you don't see them outside of period dramas. There's a brief sentence written in old-fashioned script. To the shrine, 2 beats for the monkey, 3 beats for the tiger, 1 beat for the snake. That's not making any sense to me. You're a teacher, aren't you, Yashiki? Solve this one. Mashida immediately gives up. Looks like I'm going to have to unravel this puzzle myself. Let's see. It starts off with to the shrine. So maybe it's indicating a ritual one has to perform before visiting the shrine. Monkey, tiger, snake are obviously referring to the Chinese zodiac signs. So what does beat mean? I'm assuming it's clapping? Right, clapping your hands is a typical part of a shrine visit, so that seems to fit. So that means we had to clap our hands in a particular manner before going to the shrine. This is probably how people in the past showed their respect to the gods living in the shrine. I jot down the contents of the board just in case. Let's see, 2 monkey. Where's my notepad?
Okay.
An abandoned and decaying drum. Its frame has gotten rusty after being exposed to the elements. Why is it in the forest, though? Better take a closer look. The rim of the drum is stained pitch black. It's too dark to see anything inside. Should I take a closer look? I grab it. I get up next to the drum and peek inside. The inside is also pitch black. My guess is that they use this to burn things. I assume they were burning garbage, given the surroundings. Why'd they do it here, though? There's something at the bottom of the drum. There's not enough light for me to make out what it is with my naked eyes. Should I shine my flashlight on it? Whoa. What's wrong? Why'd you start screaming out of the blue? In the drum, there's a hand with mushrooms. What did you say? Mushroom appears into the drum. Can't see shit. Turn the light here. Okay. I turn my flashlight towards the inside of the drum while Mashida looks in. However, we only find a thick pile of dark gray ashes. There are several mushrooms as well, the same ones as in the nearby trees. Anyone can tell this drum hasn't been used for a long time. There's something in the ashes. An eerie tooth. A lost soul. Was it all just a spiritual phenomena? Whose hand was it then? Even when I point my flashlight towards the forest, all I can see ahead is darkness. I feel something terrifying might pop out at any moment. Still, I can't help but stare into the void. Something seems to be moving at the back. We both stare into the darkness. Was that an animal sound? Sounded human to me, though. What was that voice? We better not stay here any longer. Oh, I see something there. What was this one? This one's monkey. What was that? Three for monkey? 9 cent is a Chinese zodiac is monkey. Clap. 3 times. Oh wait, no, was it 3 or 2? Well, maybe it was 2? I gotta find Tiger. Here's 3 times. snake. Two claps for the monkey, 3 claps for the tiger, 1 clap for the snake. Alright. That must have changed something. Let's see what it was. Yeah, we saw kind of a little hint of a spirit there when we before we clapped. It's a dog. What is that? A stooped figure is blocking our path. It's a man with mushrooms sprouting from his body. Or rather, it's more like a man who has become mushrooms. The mushroom man lets out a shout of joy before vanishing. 2 beats for the monkey, 3 beats for the tiger, 1 beat for the snake. Maybe the board's message helped us exorcise the impurity, aka that spirit. Hey, you know, that monster was wearing a Konoehara Academy uniform. You think it was Kakuta? Nope, he had blonde hair and wasn't as big as Kakuta. Who the fuck was that bastard then? Let me think. Monohashi mentioned some delinquents who disappeared in the forest. Maybe he's one of them. Kokodi's deep-seated grudge is swirling all around this forest. One slip up and that figure might be the last thing we ever see. See, this one's a boar. The stone is quite weathered, so they say you're quite old. The surface is mostly covered in moss and mushrooms. Behind the stones, there seems to be an animal tracks leading further into the woods, diverging from the path. We follow the animal tracks around by overgrown flora once again. I wonder what's waiting for me in this deep, dark forest. There's an open area in front of us. Something's there. Several logs have been arranged in this meadow. They kind of resemble a fence. An inordinate number of mushrooms are growing around the logs. This place looks like a mushroom farm to me. Better be careful, Yashiki. This place is practically screaming ambush to me. A stump with mushrooms growing on it. What's that? Something stuck on the other side of the stump. I take a few steps closer and find a metal grip protruding from the ground. I try to pull it out. It was actually a shovel. What's it doing here? That voice just now. It sounded like a male's voice. Mashida's not showing any reaction. Looks like I'm the only one who heard it. This shovel might have some sordid tale attached to it. Despite the creepiness, the shovel might come in handy. I decide to take it despite my pounding heart's protestations. A small shovel. The shovel's pretty handy. Mushrooms are growing in a lump of moss. A black shadow resembling an insect is moving. The light must have startled it. On the ground, I see a mass with a rather odd shape. What's that? I better examine it. An ominous mass surrounded by moss. Doesn't resemble a human. Should I dig it out and find out what it is? We'll never know unless we check. I reach out to the mass, poking it. It's harder than I thought. There's no doing this with my hands. I need something with a sharp edge. Do I have anything with a sharp edge? I don't think so. Logs are assembled like a fence. I can't see what's on the other side of the fence. Let's move in closer and get a better look. Oh no. We find a corpse wearing a Konoehara Academy uniform on the ground. Unsettling, whitish mushrooms are growing from the body. Is this another victim of Kokuri's curse? What are we gonna do? Stay back. I'll inspect the corpse. I cautiously approach the dead body. Where should I start? The body? My eyes are fixed on the corpse. I can feel gastric juices well up in my throat. The more I stare at it, the more repulsed it looks. This used to be a human being, and now it looks like this? Don't look away. I utter a mild castigation to myself and continue observing the body. While the sprouting mushrooms have torn up the uniform, it isn't that dirty. He must have died recently. A green tie. That indicates he's a second year. Mushrooms are growing all over his large body. Pants pocket? I reach inside the corpse's pants pocket. Inside, I find a smartphone. It's pretty much stock and has no distinctive customizations, making it hard for us to guess who owned it. Maybe I can learn something from the phone itself. I press the buttons to no avail. Guess it's been broken. Blazer pockets. I reach inside the corpse's blazer pocket. I find a piece of paper inside the pockets. It seems to have been torn from something. I position the beam of my flashlight so I can examine the paper's contents. Fox laccata, a type of fungus that only lives in the fox forest. Its spore carp doesn't have a cap or stalk. It takes the shape of a reed. A poisonous mushroom. It contains 10 times the amount of psilocybin hallucinogenic as the infamous Psiloba archetypes. As of this writing, there are currently no laws regulating possession or cultivation of this fungus. However, considering the negative impact it would have on individuals, especially minors, official regulation and study are needed. Descriptions of a plant are written on it. This must be the missing page from the guide in the storage room. Scarlet stripe-shaped mushrooms should be referring to these plants. So, these red mushrooms are called fox laccata. According to the information, they seem to be mushrooms with strong hallucinogenic effects. There's another piece of paper inside the pocket. Unlike the first, this one's written in rough, hurried penmanship. The author of this note was definitely pissed off. Fox laccata and the murder at Lake S. The minor offender in the case seemed to have ingested fox laccata, and the one who sold the mushrooms to them was K. I've seen shifty-looking youngsters roaming around the fox forest. Looks like they intended to harvest fox laccata. There were also some students from our school, including K. I didn't disclose this information to the public out of fear that it would damage the school's reputation. That was a grave mistake. I take responsibility for everything. The murder of a mother and child at Lake S, an incident I've never heard of before. That's all there is to this. That's all there is to inspect. Find out anything useful, Yashiki? Yeah, quite a bit. I describe the corpse's features and show Mashita the items I found. I'm guessing that corpse is that brat, huh? It's not Abe or Kakata. Or maybe it is Kakata. He's a second year. Gotta be. He's a well-built second year, and that torn research paper in his pocket is a dead giveaway. If it's not Kakata, who else would it be? Kakata had been cursed by Kokuri. The curse didn't end just because he ran away. He probably lost his stamina here. We might have a better idea why he came here once we check on his belongings. Let's keep that stuff, Yashiki. Agreed. Obtain Kakata's cell phone. Obtain Fox Lakata. Document. I offer a silent prayer for his soul and leave the place. I realized something on our way back. Unlike the other victims, Kakata's corpse didn't disappear. I wonder why. The only possible reason I came up with is that maybe when he passed, he wasn't human any longer. Kakata had basically become mushrooms. Even his parents wouldn't recognize him in that state. I wonder what's a better death. Not even leaving behind a corpse, or being completely stripped of all your distinguishing human features. I have a sharp edge. Cell phone? I take out Kakata's cell phone. Even take it out, I don't know how to use it. How about the old signboard? Take out a shovel and stick it into the mass. A part of the mass crumbles away. I carefully pick it up and look it over. I knew it. It's a mushroom. Its surface is as hard as tree bark. I doubt this used to be a human. It just doesn't look like a human to me. There's no trace of clothing either. I could be wrong, of course, but I'm going with that. I don't want to think that I might have just mutilated and desecrated a corpse. There's something buried in the place I dug out. I pick it up. It's an eerie tooth. Okay, I think that's everything. Umbrella-shaped mushrooms are growing on the tree trunk. I take a good look to find any mushrooms resembling Fox Lakata to no avail. We find ourselves in an open space after passing the gate. This should be the grounds of the shrine. However, there are no remains of any buildings to be seen. Have they completely decayed?
Yoshi.
An old stone lantern with mushrooms scattered here and there. At that moment, I spot something glinting on top of the lantern. I step closer and find a small object on it. Ah, good catch. You make a good detective, Yashiki. I pick it up. It's an eerie tooth. Oh, boy. We leveled up. An old lantern, the only trace left of the shrine. Thick bushes and shrubs crowd this area. Hey, Yashiki. Do you see that red thing behind those bushes? I strained my eyes staring at the bushes, but it's too dark for me to see anything. You can't see it? You need new glasses. Come here. Mashida walks towards the bushes as I follow him from behind. With my bright flashlight in hand, we cross the spacious open area. If Kokiri was actually in here, we'd be perfect targets. Just thinking about that sends chills down my spine. Look, there it is. Oh, it's in the shape of a body. There's a red figure laying in the inner area. Hang on a second. Those are clumps of red plants that are in the shape of a human. Still, this doesn't explain anything about the shrine. We better take a closer look. The mushrooms growing in here are thin red filaments. They look similar to the red mushrooms inside the petri dish. This has got to be Fox Licata. I don't get it. Why have they clustered in such a strange shape? I take the small shovel from my bag. My gut's telling me something's buried here. That's enough motivation to start thrusting the shovel into the earth. My shovel hit something hard. Being careful not to break whatever it is, I tried to excavate the dirt around it. Before long, the object becomes visible. They're old human bones. The bones are clad with tattered clothes. Dirt has worked its way through the fiber now, but I believe this used to be white. Who the hell is this poor sod? I don't know, but the white clothes make me think that it could be Mr. Kokiri from the rumors. Abe said Kokiri's the spirit of a priest. So this guy here is that priest? We may find out once we get a better look at the skeleton. I crouch next to the corpse and inspect it. From the bone structure, it appears these bones belong to a man. However, they don't really have any special identifying feature that would help us, like a missing finger or something. At this time of night, we'd be hard-pressed to cross-check his teeth against dental records too. Making matters worse, other than the shreds of formerly white clothing, there are no belongings to be found. The fact that his body is buried here might indicate that he was murdered. If so, then his belongings might have been stolen at that time. Who are you? Words full of anxiety and confusion tumble from my mouth. Deep inside the old school, the dead fox god that looks alive, inside the stomach. What was that? The man's voice suddenly echoes through my mind, as if he's trying to answer my question. But I believe these are murmurs of his deep resentment. If you listen too carefully, you may get overwhelmed by the regrets of the deceased. We can't stay here any longer. It's dangerous. Let's go, Mashida. I don't think we'll get any useful information here. Nothing, really? Nothing, really? Shit. Suddenly, the sound of a gunshot rings out and reverberates throughout the shrine. It's got something resembling a hunting rifle in its hands. Is that Mr. Kokiri? Kill hooligan. Mr. Kokiri disappeared? Another gunshot rings out and a bullet hits the ground near our feet, spraying us with dirt. This is bad. That thing does real damage, and he's trying to shoot us with it. Hey, Yashiki, don't go out there like that. You're wide open. After saying that, Mashida hides behind a nearby tree. I do the same and hunker down behind a different tree. The bullet hits somewhere completely off target. The bullet hits a spot near the lantern. This guy is obviously an amateur. I think he's using a hunting rifle, but you can see the grouping of his shots is very loose. Either that gun's old and hasn't been cleaned, or he's just a poor marksman who keeps missing the target. I think as long as we keep a good distance from him, the bullets won't hit us. True, but we shouldn't be careless. He only needs one lucky shot to kill us. What should we do then? I can't see him anywhere. We can't just sit here and wait for him. We'll be dead meat once he gets close enough. Everything is certainly trending very badly for us. Even if we try to make a mad dash for it, the road ahead is strange and narrow. Even a bad shooter with a bad gun is going to be able to hit their target eventually in this kind of situation. What should we do then? We can't really make a move so as long as we don't know where Kokiri is. Hold on, we can't see him right now. I feel like I remember something, but I'm not too sure. Keep calm and think. There must be clues somewhere. Oh, Yashiki. Creepy petri dish. Eat some of the mushrooms. That helps him see things that aren't there. I open the petri dish and decide to eat some of the mushrooms that grow on the centipede. I bite one of the mushrooms sticking out of the insect's body and tear it off with force. Then, with a steely determination, I swallow it down. I feel my body getting warm, like I just drank a mug of hot water. My heart is beating so fast, my vision starts to blur. This is probably the effect of Vox Lacata. Hey, you alright, Yashiki? Yeah, I think so. Once my heartbeat returns to normal, I slowly stabilize. My vision stops going blurry. I am no longer in a daze. Then a mysterious figure appears before my eyes. He's there. I can see Kokiri. Looks like this is the right choice. Kokiri hasn't moved an inch. Rest assured, he hasn't come any closer. Wait, what? You can see Kokiri? Yeah, thanks to the red demon. Eat Crimson Devil to see the invisible Kokiri. The female doll mentioned it before. Calling us hooligans, Kokiri aims his gun in our direction. The bullet hits the tree we're hiding behind. His accuracy's improved. We're pinned down now. One thing's for certain, we can't escape right now. We need to find some way to fight back. Since Mashida can't see Kokiri, I'm the only one who can fight him. The only one who can fight him is me. There's not much I can do to fight back, but I've got to give it my all. Let's team up. And I'm gonna grab my gun. I'm gonna try to. I open the suspicious paper bag and take out the gun inside. After all, I'm a complete novice. I don't have any confidence in my ability to shoot a gun. Masha, can you do something to distract Kokiri for a couple seconds? I figured you were going to ask something like that. I'll do something about it. Believing in Mashida's axe, I poke my head out and get ready with my gun. Mashida leaves his cover and shoots into the open space. Kokiri turns towards Mashida. Great job, Mashida. I take aim at Kokiri, who has now stopped moving. Breathe deeply and calmly pull the trigger. Kokiri lets out an eerie howl. Did you get him, Yashiki? I think I hit him. Although I guess it's more like my bullet just passed through his body. Well, he is a spirit after all. If you could defeat them with guns, no one would call me to investigate. They'd just get the military. Kokiri screams in anger and fires his gun. He then begins to approach us slowly. Shit, he's coming closer. So, we just pissed him off. I don't believe this is the right choice. Kokuri's breathing hard. He seems angry. The closer he gets to us, the more danger we are in. That also makes it easier to shoot him now, but will that really help us? Hey, what are we gonna do? We're running out of time. I know that already. If we knew how to deal with Kokuri's shots, we might be able to find an opening and escape. Our bullets won't work against Kokuri, but we need to create an opening to survive. So, Masha... shoot at his rifle.
Yes.
Sorry, but can you be my decoy once more, Mashita? Fine. Trusting in Mashita, I peek my head out of cover and ready my gun. Mashita does the same and fires at a shot into the open space. Kokuri turns towards Mashita. Great job, Mashita. I take aim at Kokuri, who has now stopped moving. Breathe deeply and calmly pull the trigger. Kokuri lets out an eerie howl. Nice, that definitely hit. I saw it for a split second. Your shot hit his rifle. Kokuri sounds frustrated and angry. Something might have happened to his rifle. Did our attack jam his rifle? It's now or never. Kokuri can't shoot us. Let's go, Mashita. I know, no need to tell me. Once we reach the path, we beat feet and don't slow down. Looks like this is the right choice. I mean, we made it. But he's still wandering around. Mashita and I race out of there as fast as we can. We're running straight for the exit. There's no guarantee that Mr. Kokuri will let us go even if we escape in the forest. Like Slithmouth Kashima, he can probably follow us. Now that he has his sights set on us, we'll have to be careful everywhere going forward. Even so, our only choice right now is to run for our lives, even if hell is going to be hot on our heels wherever we go. Our only goal is survival, and I'm sure that Mashita feels the same. It's the exit. It's the exit, Yoshiki. Is he still chasing us? He is not. Looks like we've survived the hunt for now. For fuck's sake, we barely escaped that bastard. We better stay out of his goddamn forest for now, unless you feel like being target practice. Masha looks exhausted, and I'm sure I do as well. Let's take this opportunity to head to the infirmary and sort out everything we've just learned. A sigh of relief escapes my lips the moment we step inside the infirmary. I'm lucky that I'm seeing these walls again, and that's not an exaggeration in the slightest. Time to tell Yasuoka and the others what happened in the forest. Oh yeah, I forgot I have random jump scares on. Alright, we'll stop it there. This is meowmurai. You've been watching Spirit Hunter Death Mark 2 running on PlayStation 5. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.